What's up, YouTube? Scotty Tradition, back with a mail day video. Got a nice little stack of stuff here that I've gotten in over the last month that finally able to make a video and go through. Um, what an exciting night of college football last night for the Wisconsin Badgers, upsetting number 23 Washington Huskies. And the Badgers' offense has been so putrid this year. Um, so their leading passer was their punter, who basically threw a 24-yard pass on a fake punt. He was their leading passer, and somehow the Badgers still won. So I think Washington this morning has got to be questioning their reality of how that could happen. Really great defensive effort by the young linebackers, Mason Posa and Cooper Catalano. It was just fun to watch. They just punched him in the mouth. Just a game that Washington's going to feel after they play that game. No thanks to the offense, though. The only touchdown the Badgers scored was a forced fumble inside Washington's own 10-yard line, and they were able to run it in. Otherwise, I have no idea how they won that game, but it was fun. It's been such an awful year for them, and I'm just happy for the players. I feel like they really needed that victory. So, speaking of Wisconsin Badgers, the first pickup is related to that. Finally picked up the 17 Prism TJ Watt rookie card in a Gem 10. Shout out to Bob Lewis, Mr. Pittsburgh Steeler fan. I just love TJ Watt. I love all the Watts. Just great player for the Badgers. And, of course, the Packers missed on him in the draft and drafted Kevin King instead, but we won't talk about that. Obviously, that didn't work out very well for the Packers. But TJ Watt has already, I think solidified himself as a Hall of Famer. He was Defensive Player of the Year in 21. He's already a 6-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, has led the league in sacks 3 times, and has also led the league in forced fumbles 2 different times. He holds multiple NFL records already, including most sacks in a season with 22 and a half. And then 3 seasons being a sack leader, that's a record. And then leading the league in sacks for 2 years in a row. You wouldn't think that'd be the record, but it is. Apparently it's hard to lead the league in sacks 2 years in a row. But TJ Watt has done that already. Already got 113 sacks in his career and 35 forced fumbles. So yeah, just insane numbers, and he's just a beast of a player. And I love. There's so many great players out of the 17 Prism set, and finally picked up the TJ Watt. Myles Garrett's actually also from this set. It's another one I've considered picking up as well. So happy with that one. And then this card came available, which is interesting. This is the Brett Favre lawnmower variation card. And there's a great story behind these cards. Basically, they were inserted in packs in 2008 Topps Football, and they were extremely difficult pulls. Something like 1 in 12,000 packs to pull one of these short prints. And that's like 1 in 300 boxes it comes down to. So very tough to pull these. There's also a Jets lawnmower card as well. And I had already had this one, the Lombardi Ghost photo, where you can see Lombardi's face in the background. That was already part of the collection, and then this one became available, and I gave the seller an offer, and he accepted. So now I have both in a 9.5. I just glanced at the pop reports on these. There are 17 total graded of the Lombardi ones, and of that, 7 are 9.5. So this is one of the 7. And then the lawnmower ones, there's 21 overall graded, and 10 of them are 9.5. So real cool to be able to add one of these tough short prints from 08 Topps on Favre. Basically, he was going to retire in 08, and or at least that's what they thought. And so they did all these specialty cards for him, and of course he ended up coming back in anyways. But really happy to grab that lawnmower one. It's one I've had my eye on for a while. This is like buying season, right? Every year, October, November, December, great times to buy cards. Great times to sell cards always seems to be right after tax season. So, April, May, June, somewhere in that area. That tends to be when cards are at their peak. And right now is when people tend to be getting rid of cards, just because they either are coming up on the holidays, can't afford something towards the end of the year, and that's the time to be ready to buy. Is right now. The last couple years has been like this for me, where all this stuff comes available at the end of the year, and nothing was available for most of the year. So really happy to have that one. Next on the list, this just came in on Friday, and this is one I had sent off to Garrett at Slab City, and it was just a one card submission. And this was the card. This was purchased from my buddy Don. I was able to pry this away from him. This is a tough card. This Bob Jeter is in the Packers Hall of Fame. He's a defensive back, but he didn't sign a lot of cards, especially his rookie card. This is only a Pop 3 card. Only 3 of these have ever been authenticated. So, and this one is just crispy clean with a beautiful auto of Mr. Jeter. So, finally got to take this one off the list. I mean, I've been looking for this card for 5 years, and I haven't found one until I was able to make a deal with my buddy Don for this card, and then I sent it in for grading or authentication, and it came back authentic, of course, as I thought it would. And it actually didn't take too long either. I think I just sent this off back in August, and it's already back, so pretty cool. Actually, no, this one was in July or June, I want to say. It wasn't August. I don't want to give PSA DNA too much credit, but yeah, I was happy to get that one back. That's another big one off the list, and it's only a Pop 3 card. All right, and then here's a couple more rare ones that came up for auction. You just never know what you're gonna find, and that's what makes this hobby so fun. So this was like an older gentleman from Nebraska that was selling these cards, and they were all part of a big lot, and you had to kind of find the lot and then kind of find the card. So the way he had them listed, like he didn't list them individually. So I just happened to come across a lot of cards that looked like I should definitely look through it, and I was right. Because we got the Hank Greminger Lake to Lake autograph. So these Lake to Lake cards are very hard to find autographed. Only 20 have ever been authenticated. I think there's like 36 Lake to Lake cards, and of the 36 cards, there's only 20 ever that have been authenticated by across all players. So this would be a Pop 1. You know, this would be a Pop 1 for Hank Greminger. The significance of this card is he's in the Packers Team Hall of Fame, and this is his rookie card. This is his only card that exists, actually. So it's like finding a needle in a pool of needles to actually find this autographed Hank Greminger. So real excited for that one. And he had a few other ones. I've actually considered buying all of them, the whole lot, but there's actually a few other people that chimed in and were able to get some nice cards as well. But I settled for the Greminger because this is the only Team Hall of Fame rookie card in the Lake to Lake set. And then also grabbed this one, Bob Scarcity, who absolutely love. And it's a very tough autograph on a card as well. Scarcity's autograph is 67 Philadelphia, which I do have one of those, but that's only a Pop 4 signed card as well. This would be a Pop 1 right here. This is like considered a pre-rookie card for Bob Scarcity, who was on that great Packers offensive line of the 60s with Forrest Gregg and Jerry Kramer and Fuzzy Thurston and Jim Ringo the earlier years. So just amazing. All those Hall of Fame players on that line, and they all say the same thing. This was their leader, Bob Scarcity. So if you ever listen to Bob Scarcity talk, you're like, yep, you can just see. Like, this was the guy that was Mr. Stability every day, was a leader, maybe not good in one thing at an elite level, but he was just good at being consistent. And I love people like that. Like, just the same guy showing up every day and just good enough at everything, but maybe not great at one thing. So Bob Scarcity, these are going to get sent in as soon as I can to Slab City for authentication. But to find these two, I mean, that's just a delight. This is a delight of my year, finding stuff like that. So got those two in. And then last but not least, here is this is a big card. So my buddy Don, who's the same gentleman that I purchased the Jeter from Raw a few months back, reached out, and he had two of these, and he was wondering if I wanted to purchase one, and it all worked out great, and I was able to actually meet him down in Brookfield, which is by Milwaukee, and drove down there, got to chat with him for about an hour, and talked about cards and life, and actually picked up some good beer down in that area. So that I drove back. So it was a nice little day, basically. But he offered this card to me, and I accepted. This is the Jim Ringo rookie card autograph from 1955 Bowman. It's an SGC authentic. Obviously, SGC doesn't grade autographs anymore, but beggars cannot be choosers with this card. This is, if I looked at PSA's pop report, and PSA's only ever authenticated 15 of these, and that's not a ton for a Hall of Fame rookie card. Ringo's autograph is not necessarily rare, but it is rare on his rookie card. Like, you don't see him on his rookie card. Again, one that I've been watching for years and haven't seen one come up. But my buddy Don had two of them, and he offered this one to me. This one here had the better autograph. The other one was a little better centered for the card and had a little lighter autograph. So this is the one that I went with, just because of that auto is just beautiful on this card. And it's so hard to find on this card. So Ringo played over a decade for the Packers, then finished his career with the Philadelphia Eagles. Was a two-time NFL champion, 9-time All-Pro, 10-time Pro Bowler, and a member of the 60s All-Decade team. So not too shabby. Of course, his infamous story in Green Bay was that he had a falling out with Vince Lombardi later in his career, and Lombardi sent him packing, traded him to the Eagles because basically Ringo was trying to negotiate for more money on his contract. So he was unceremoniously traded to the Eagles from Green Bay when he wanted more money. But nobody can deny his stability and how awesome he was as a player. Again, this is a really big card. This would probably be, I just did my top 100 cards in the collection just to give you guys somewhat of an idea of what these kind of can go for. This would be a top 20 or a top 25 card in my collection if I was redoing that video right now. So big card to have right there, Jimmy Ringo. Glad to have that one out of the way. Other than that, that's it. I mean, really, really good stuff here. I'm obviously very Packers heavy. I think everything that I picked up was a Packer card except for the J.J. Watt or the T.J. Watt, but that is a Wisconsin Badger card. I consider that as well. So very Wisconsin football regional heavy video here. But I mean, all of these cards fit so perfectly into the collection. I couldn't be happier finding some of these tough ones, short prints and tough autographs. Like, it's been a really good last month of pickups for the collection. So thank you all so much for watching. No Packers football today. They are on Monday Night Football. They play the Eagles in a really big game. Really sucks to lose Tucker Kraft for the year. That was brutal. He was the player that was playing the best on the offense, and he's like the emotional heartbeat of the Packers team. So that is a brutal blow, and a player that's irreplaceable. One of the best blockers on the team in addition to all his yards after catch. So you just cannot replace that, unfortunately. And he was on my fantasy team as well, so that's brutal. Now I have to start Kyle Pitts. And Kyle Pitts, I think they're playing right now. They are halfway through their game, and he has 0 points. So going from Kraft to Kyle Pitts hasn't been a good experience so far. Other than that, that's all I got, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate you, and we'll talk to you again soon.